Does USCIS really investigate marriage fraud? Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. I'm always amazed at the questions that people ask and the things that people think are true or aren't true when it comes to USCIS and the processing of marriage-based green card cases. I actually had someone post a comment in YouTube the other day wondering, does USCIS really investigate marriage fraud for those trying to get a green card based on a fake marriage? Now, I could tell you tons and tons of stories about stings or raids that USCIS has done on really large immigration fraud situations. There's a situation going on right now down in Houston, Texas, where this whole ring of people have been indicted for alleged immigration fraud, that people were paying U.S. citizens to marry them to try to get them a green card, that the marriages were fake and that they were not real. They were only designed to help a foreign national. Here it seems to be that many of the individuals were from Vietnam to get a immigrant visa or green card to come to the United States. Now, this was a situation where the government alleges people were being paid $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to marry a foreign national and get them that green card based on a fake marriage. So there's no doubt about it that ICE, that Homeland Security investigations, that USCIS conducts big stings and big raids and really tracks when there might be a notario or even an immigration lawyer running an immigration scam helping people get fake green cards. But for the most part, where USCIS devotes its resources is trying to find out whether there's fraud in individual cases. It's much less likely that it's going to be part of some big sting. It's more likely that a U.S. citizen or a green card holder tries to help their foreign-born friend to stay in the United States by entering into a fake marriage. Now, USCIS would tell you that many cases involving immigration-based green card cases are fraudulent. I believe that USCIS finds fraud many times when there is no fraud, but we don't need to debate that for the purposes of this video. In this video, I want to talk about the fact that there is no doubt that there's a fraud unit at every field office and that part of their job is to figure out if marriages are real. How do they do that? Well, they knock on doors. The first thing they do is they knock on doors of the couple that are applying for a green card. And what they want to find in those situations is whether or not the couple is actually living together, whether or not the husband and wife, or the husband and husband, the wife and wife, are living together in marital union. And they do that by knocking on the door early in the morning, usually around 5:30 or 6, to see if the couple is sleeping in the same bed, if they have all their stuff there, or if they are living apart. That's something that really will trigger more investigation. So they have these officers, they're part of the fraud unit, they actually come and knock on doors. Sometimes they're the officers who conducted the interview, but usually they're separate from the regular frontline officers, and the frontline officers say, hey, go check out Justin's case and see if that's a real marriage or not, or check out Mary's case and see if they're living together as husband and wife. This is a real situation, and this is something that happens more often than you think. USCIS also likes to talk to landlords, to employers, to figure out, well, what paperwork have they submitted? What do they say is their emergency contact? Who do they have listed on the lease? Lease investigation is one of the main ways that USCIS tries to prove marriage fraud. The idea that USCIS is not really investigating marriage fraud, I'm not really sure where that's coming from, other than I suspect it's probably from someone who knows of an individual case in which there's marriage fraud going on and somebody got the green card. That definitely happens. We've caught people who have wanted to hire us to try to get their friend a green card based on a phony marriage. Of course, we fired those clients. We didn't even file the case. People will present themselves as having legitimate marriages. And the real thing that's unfortunate about this is it makes it hard for everybody. It makes those with legitimate marriages really suffer because they get held up for extra scrutiny, their cases get delayed, all in the name of USCIS trying to find fraud wherever it occurs, or even when it does not occur. So, hope this video has sorted that out. There is no doubt about it that USCIS has a fraud unit, that they devote a lot of resources to it, that under the Trump administration they greatly expanded the power of USCIS to investigate fraud or fake marriages. And from a political standpoint, you can figure out where you line up on that. But what I can tell you is that it is real, that it is something that happens in many cases, that you're going to have to prove that your marriage is real to the satisfaction of the officer, and that if they think something is funny, if they smell some monkey business, they're going to send out the fraud unit to figure out whether or not your marriage is in fact real. And if it's not, you as the U.S. citizen sponsor, you as the beneficiary can both go to jail, and of course that would be a surefire way for the foreign national to get deported after jail time. So we strongly encourage you not to engage in marriage fraud. We think that's probably overblown, that USCIS talks about it way more than it actually is, but it is definitely a real thing that needs to be investigated, and that is investigated, and that is super, super serious. So we hope you take it seriously. If you're thinking about filing a legitimate marriage case and you want our help putting your case together, we'd be happy to help you out. Give us a call, 314-961-8200. Email us, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. If you're just looking for free resources, that's totally cool. We have our YouTube channel where we have hundreds and hundreds of videos, and we have our Immigration Answers live show where I go live a few times a week, answering as many of your immigration law related questions as possible. And then we have our free Facebook group called Immigrant Home, where you can post questions or post comments or find out about processing times and talk to thousands of other people going through the same immigration process as you. Hope to see you there and hope to hear from you soon. Take care, and we'll see you next time.